Yo, everybody, welcome to this first episode of the Caro Skates podcast.
Yeah. Working on the title, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, that's pretty good for now, I think. We have Chris Schwartz. He's our first guest, a real good friend of mine. I haven't seen you in a while. It's good to catch up at the very least, so glad you're here.
Yeah, I was talking to Will earlier. Like, I think we've known each other like minimum 15 years, probably closer to 20.
Yeah, probably closer to 20, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Kind of grew up skating in the same era, kind of pretty much started skating at the same time. I feel like you're a pretty good choice to kind of be the first guest, just kind of get comfortable doing this. And
hopes that we know each other.
Yeah. We know each other. There's not going to be any kind of weird stuff going on, I don't think. But I'm really happy that you came through. I'm really excited for this project. Really appreciate you coming in. So just kind of catching up. How you doing? Everything's good, or?
Yeah, pretty good. Just like working a lot. I kind of like basically didn't skate all summer just from like being busy, but also just because like Colorado summers are like just fucking ridiculously hot now. So, but yeah, I've been pushing around like the past few weeks. So
yeah, how's that feeling?
Better. Like at first, you just feel like so heavy. You know what I mean? Like if you don't skate for a long time.
Definitely.
Starting to feel a little better.
When was the last time you were kind of like skating like regularly?
Like consistently?
Yeah.
Probably like towards the end of like filming for the lunch break video.
Yeah.
Trying to like squeeze in some last clips for that. But,
and that premiere was like almost a year ago already.
Dude, it was a while ago. Yeah. Yeah, I think it premiered last October, so almost exactly a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's cool. Let's I got some little things to get into. So kind of we'll just start kind of a little chronologically, I guess, and obviously you started skate. When did you start skateboarding?
I think it was like 2001, maybe something like that. Because I was like 13, and it's definitely, I don't know. Yeah. 22 years ago.
And so I feel like for most skaters, once they're like, okay, I'm skateboarding, this is what I'm doing, it kind of becomes like so much of your personality and your persona.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And so like, what was it before you were skateboarding? That's a lot of time to develop like your own kind of
for sure
persona. What were you like before you started skating?
Dude, just kind of like a dork. I don't know, played video games. Just had a little like friend group at school, and I went to a Christian school, and it was I don't know, we just like I don't know, normal kid stuff, nothing crazy. I like tried playing sports, but just I would be on the bench like all year. So
you're not good at sports?
No, not really.
Not any sports at all?
Not really. I was like okay at tennis for a little while, but I just didn't really like it.
And your sister ended up getting like super into tennis? Yeah,
she still plays. She's really good. My whole family is like all about tennis.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. And is that something that your parents kind of like were like, here's a tennis racket?
Totally.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I was like not into it at all at first, and then I kind of like started getting into it a little bit, and then once I started skating, then for like the first 5 years, that's all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
For sure.
What was like the catalyst for like you picking up a skateboard? What was like the thing that made you like interested in it, or like that first exposure where you're like, that's fucking what I want to be doing right now?
Hilariously, I think like Bart Simpson like put it on my radar.
Oh,
I was like, dang, this Bart kid's pretty cool, like little mischievous guy. So I was kind of like wanted to skate for a little while, but just never got aboard. And then like, when I was in like 7th grade, like I think the second Tony Hawk Pro Skater came out, and I was playing that, and I was like, all right, this is awesome. Like the music is sick, like that whole soundtrack. But I got aboard like shortly after that, I think, when I was like 13.
And then I feel like music is like such a huge part of skateboarding. And like obviously you like skate music, and obviously like video parts are a huge influence on the kind of music taste that you developed.
Yeah, definitely.
What was like your music taste before you started skating, bro? What did you like?
Oh, just like early 2000s pop punk,
Oh,
like
okay.
Blink
All right.
182 and like all those whatever bands were popular at the time,
Okay,
like,
so that's cool still.
yeah, it's like pretty, I mean, yeah, I definitely still like put on some like nostalgic pop punk from time to time.
Are there any like jams that like your parents like listen to that you just like get hyped on that like that they used to jam, or were your parents into music at all?
Yeah, they were a little bit. I mean, just some. I mean, like just normal kind of like oldies. Definitely some like 60s, 70s stuff would be like on from time to time. And I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool. And then you go through a phase where you're like, no, that sucks. And then you come back to it and you're like, dang, I think I want to like use this in a part or something,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tight. And then like you were in Christian school. Like, was that through your whole school?
Just through 8th grade.
Okay. And then you ended up going to Ralston Valley. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then you were in my sister's class.
Yeah.
And I didn't find that out until I went
I know.
to graduation. In my sister's graduation, I'm like, hey,
that was hilarious.
Chris is here. Oh, you're graduating too. I was like, oh, I didn't. And then you ended up being friends with my sister, right?
Yeah.
And you didn't know we were.
No, I had no idea.
No idea we were related.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lena's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, she's great. But that's cool. It's always nice. It's like you always kind of like run into people and you're like, oh, we could have met a long time ago.
I know, right? Yeah, that was super funny.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, so school, grew up. What school did you go to? Faith, right?
Yeah, Faith for like elementary school. And then, yeah, Ralston Valley, which was like, I went to high school with Monaco, Candelaria, and my friend Adam Carpenter.
Oh,
and
yeah,
that was
yeah.
like our super tight. It was like Monaco and Adam, Josh Almanzo went to a different school, but
Right.
like that was
was
around
the
that
clique.
early high school time. Yeah, that was
And then like outside like Doug and
Sal and
Sal.
all. Yeah.
And then obviously Butchin crew.
Yes, dude.
That was such a ripping crew.
Yeah. Joe Scott. Just
Joe Scott.
super ripper.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. I was trying to get some like butt chin clips, but I just could not find like super bad quality and stuff. But
Right. Yeah, that video was at that time. That video was very sick, bro. Like I remember seeing that. They had like a copy at the Wet House, and I was like, oh snap! What like butt chin? Oh yeah, and then butt chin obviously in the crew, right?
Ryan butt chin Cruz.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because like when I think back on it, I think about like it's like so self-centered, but I think about like my specific part, which is just like horrible. I had only been skating like a couple years or something, but like, dude, Monaco's part in that video was like legitimately sick.
Josh's
part was awesome. Joe had a really sick part.
Yeah,
like it was a solid video.
It was for that time. It was really good.
Yeah,
and I remember it being at we're like at the Wet House, like watching your video, and I'm like, damn, like I want to be in a video.
Awesome.
Someone put me in a video.
I don't think I knew you yet, right? Like maybe towards like the.
I think towards
after that.
After that, yeah, we started hanging out a lot more, and yeah, I don't think I knew you too well before then, and then yeah, so like let's see that. Can you have that? Can you pull up that clip of that of him holding that skateboard?
Oh yeah.
Holding the skateboard?
Yeah.
It's like my
he's posing next. It's like the picture, just that picture where he's posing next to the skateboard.
Oh yeah. This one?
No, the other one. That one. There you go. Let's
man.
talk about this for a second.
Yeah, dude.
So where did that even come from?
That's my first board. Like, honestly, I don't even know how it got scratched up. Like, probably just like running into, my front step at my house or something.
Yeah, I want to know about those scrapes. Like,
yeah, dude, they're fake for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. World Industries board, super hyped on Flame Boy and Wet Willie and stuff.
So was that 7.5?
Oh man, I have no idea. Probably, probably a 7.5. Grind King trucks. Globe shoes.
Yeah, look, those shoes look massive, bro. They look like,
sure they're like
very.
untied.
They look very big. They look very big for you. Like you're just swimming in those shoes, dude.
100%. That's true. Yeah, because I only wear like a 6.5 now, and I'm pretty sure I was like self-conscious then and like wearing it.
I was the same.
Like 3 pairs of socks or something.
Yeah, because you're just. I was like as a little kid, you're like, oh, you have to buy a size bigger so your feet will grow. And at a certain point, like you're like,
sure?
Dude, but I had this mentality till I was like 16. I'm like, dude, you're not growing anymore.
I know.
Dude, this is not changing for you.
Yeah.
And I was like skating these massive shoes and they're just flopping around. It looks so jank and it's like wearing out so stupid. Yeah, so that's brutal.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
God.
that's
So
good
funny.
times. What shirt are you wearing right there?
Dude, a Hurley shirt.
A Hurley, bro. Let's go. That's tight.
Yeah, I think I was like really into Hurley because Blink-182 wore Hurley stuff. And I was like, oh, dude.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Do you have, I can't, that, your wrist is kind of blown out there. You got the pinky, the pinky pose there.
Dude, I know. I was going to mention that. I don't know why that just happens, but it happens when I skate too.
Oh, yeah?
Like
just
as soon as I like pop, I feel like my right hand goes into like a fist and my left hand does like this
the pinky's out
shaka thing or something.
all proper. All proper.
Yeah. So
that's hilarious.
I hope not too many people notice that, but now everyone knows.
Now they're looking. So what was like when you were at that age, what was like hyping you to like just go out and just keep trying to get at it and just keep trying to skate?
At that age, I mean, probably just, I had a couple friends at school that were like kind of skated. So yeah, pretty much just like learning, like skating with them, just trying to like become an actual skateboarder that can do tricks and stuff. Like, I don't know, standing in your driveway or like stationary board and just jumping and waiting for something to happen. Just like, I don't know, just kind of like really that in itself is like addictive at first, And then if you manage to land something or make like any little sliver of progress, you're like,
yes, just so rewarding.
Yeah.
Can you bring up those other pictures real quick too? Because you just mentioned his driveway and.
Oh yeah.
So this is your parents still live at this house, right?
They do. Yeah.
That's sick. Yeah, and then that curb, that infamous curb right there.
Yep, that's the one. Totally missing the flick on that kickflip. I think that's what it was supposed to be on that other one.
Oh yeah, I thought it was supposed to be. See, that's clearly a kickflip. Did you make that? Did you make that kickflip or was?
I have no idea.
You don't
Probably
remember?
not.
Probably not. Right?
Probably not.
But that curb was always waxed, right? And your parents were cool with you just shredding the front curb, right? Or
kind of. My dad was bummed for sure, just because he's like, I mean, it's pretty still like chunked out to this day. I should probably go fix that for them.
Yeah. But you had a decent run up to hit that little curb. I mean, it wasn't like...
Oh yeah, dude, that was my spot for like the first year minimum skating. So.
Yeah, I feel like suburban kids kind of, for me, definitely. I mean, we had a huge, like, sick driveway at my house. I don't know did you ever skate at my house back in the day?
Dude, I don't know, actually. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was a big thing. I don't think I left my driveway for like the first like 3 years of me skating.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you had a pretty sick skate spot there. I know you had like rails and boxes and stuff.
I did, yeah. I made a rail at first before I could like even ollie, and it was like just 2 inches off the ground. But it was like I used like elbow joints on it. So like where the joint attached to the rail was just like this huge like lip. But I was just like, oh, that, you probably just have to go over that or something. So, but I mean, I would be lucky to do anything on that rail anyway, for the first like year or so. But I think eventually I filed it down, but it was pretty bad.
That's great.
Yeah.
So like when you're that age, did you develop like any like super bad habits like skating that kind of like shaped kind of your progression at all?
I mean, I didn't like push Mongo or anything, but I definitely had a funny like full foot on the ground push for a long time.
It's like full stabbing.
Like, not just like your toes, but it was like kind of like an awkward like side whole foot on the ground push. But yeah, I don't know. I think I broke that habit mostly now.
That's sick. What else? What was like do you have like difficulties like that were like stress you out like when you're first skating, like that you're just like kind of bumming on like trying to progress?
Oh,
like
yeah,
kind
dude.
of like hurdles or
learning
obstacles that was kind of like mentally getting
hanging
to you.
Me up. Yeah. Definitely learning kickflips for for a long time. The only way I could actually get the board to rotate was to turn my body with it, like kickflip body varial.
Oh shit.
And I could not break that habit for the longest time. And then I finally was like I would just try kickflips like holding onto a railing to like force my body to like stay straight. Yeah. And then I finally like figured it out. But yeah, for the longest time I was just like, oh, I guess these are like kickflip body varials are it for me.
Man.
So yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah.
And like, what about like early like slam, like where you just like, you're like, oh man, like I thought this was fun, and then you get like you absolutely just get wrecked.
Yeah.
Like there's got to be like one time when you're like, dude, wait a second, like this is should not be a part of what I'm trying to do.
I mean, right at the end of filming for Butt Chin, I mean, I think I was like maybe 15, but we found this super sick like little 6-stair rail that was way out in the middle of nowhere and like kind of like border of Arvada Golden, I think, at some random industrial place. But it was a 6-stair rail, literally like just above knee high. Monaco did a bunch of tricks on it, and that was the first rail I board slid. And I wanted to do more on it, but I didn't really like have any other rail tricks. So I was like, oh, well, I can like kickflip really solid. I can board slide. So I'm just going to try to like kickflip board slide this rail.
Dang.
Yeah. And I think I was like going like 90 at it, basically, like, you know,
just
basically
going straight
like
at
perpendicular at it. So I didn't have to like frontside flip it all. I don't know how, but
it was backside.
Yeah, backside board slide. But yeah, I got into a couple of those, and then one of them I just like slipped out and kind of like sat on my back foot and broke my ankle.
Oh, broke it.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, that was a bummer. I would say at that point I was like so motivated still that I didn't really like think about like quitting skating. I was just like, oh, are you kidding me? Like I can't skate for whatever, like 3 months or something. But
what was like the recovery from that injury like?
It was.
Did you get it set and you go into the doctor and got cast, or did you just
I got a
take
cast.
care of?
Yeah. I don't think they had to like readjust it or anything, but got a cast and then just like, you know, had to stay at home in the cast for the next like 2 months, just watching a lot of skate videos and just like, come on, you know?
Just waiting.
Yeah.
What time of year was it? Was it like in summer?
I think it was summer.
Oh,
yeah.
That's the worst.
I know.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
That's super shitty. Did you like develop like any kind of like fears like early on that you were like really apprehensive of doing any kind of like certain thing like skating?
Maybe rails from that. I mean, I do remember like right when I was like healed up, I tried to jump on a 10 rail because I was like,
which one?
Dude, I'm Cherry Creek rail. I can't remember. Monaco did a bunch of stuff on it. It was like a kind of a steep green 10 rail, I think. I'm trying to think of what people did.
It was like kind of flat rail.
Yeah.
I think I can visualize it, but I don't know anything about it really.
Yeah, I like jumped on that rail and didn't land it or anything, but I was like super motivated when I first came back. But yeah, then like after that, I think I maybe board slid one more rail and then like stopped skating rails altogether. So.
And never since
pretty
then,
much,
like
yeah.
15 years later, still not jumping on them.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then like, what about like, how are you getting like money to like get your gear, like your shit?
At the time,
just like, yeah, when you're like in high school, like were you working, or did your parents just like they sponsor you or just like hook you up and just kind of they just kind of supported you? And
kind of parents sponsor, but I would like really try to like just make my stuff last, you know, like skate a board for like a full year easy basically. I did start working in high school. Sorry. Clear your throat. Yeah, dude, I worked at the Coors merchandise warehouse when I was like 16.
Really?
Yeah, it was like randomly a couple people that I went to high school with also worked there, and we would just like pack up like shirts and random stuff that people would order. And it paid like, I think I made like $7 an hour and worked like 10 hours a week or something.
Oh, nice.
So
you got like a board a
like
week.
Maybe, yeah.
Let's see. What about like spots? What kind of spots were you skating like in that era?
Like early skateboarding days?
Super early, yeah.
Basically anything that was like skating distance from my house. I would go to like A West a lot, Arvada West. There was like a big 6-stair there, or I mean like a normal 6-stair, but at the time it was like, this is huge.
Yeah.
And that was like, I think after like a year or two of trying to ollie that, like Trent and I, because I grew up next to Trent McQueen,
Right,
like he
right.
lived on the other side of the block. We would skate together all the time. But yeah, we like both finally ollied it, and then that was just like, huge achievement kind of thing.
What was Trent like back then?
He was a couple years younger and just like, I don't know, not just like a younger Trent now,
Same
basically.
guy.
Yeah, super kind of the opposite of me though, like super good at like everything that he tried, like all sports, just super good at it. Ripped at skating, like just learned tricks so easily, and yeah, just talented young kid.
Yeah,
pretty
he
much.
went to A West then? Or
Actually, I can't remember which high school he went to. I think
I mean,
A West.
that
yeah.
would make sense. Like he was right across the street, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see what else. What about like your, like obviously when you're a kid you get a skateboard, like it's just whatever you think looks cool,
Oh yeah.
right? But after that, like how did your preference of like skateboard like equipment progress?
I mean, kind of just like whatever people were saying was good at the time. You know what I mean? Like my first board was like Grind Kings, and I think I switched to Tensors after that. It's like, oh, Rodney Mullen skates Tensors, and Rodney Mullen was like my all-time favorite skateboarder for a long time. Like, still kind of to some extent is, just because
He's
all
just
those ridiculous tricks
the
that
ultimate, the oest of the G's, basically.
Totally, yeah. But I was just kind of skating whatever. I feel like if people were like, oh, these are really good, then I'd be like, okay, I'll skate those, but probably didn't start really developing strong personal preferences until I had been skating like, I don't know, 5 to 10 years, something like that.
Definitely. And what's kind of like, obviously you have to be at this point like religious about your setup, or are you not? Do you not care?
I'm not
super particularly, or
I guess maybe to some degree. Like I always skate Jessup grip. That's just what I'm used to.
Yeah.
Like I can't deal with like the grit on other. I'm just not used to it.
For
But
sure.
Jessup and like 52 millimeter wheels. I really can't go bigger than that.
Yeah.
Or I could probably go smaller because I skate wheels for so long still
They just
to
get
this
so
day.
worn out.
So
they're
they're
like
like
49,
yeah.
like 45
Totally,
by the time you're
yeah.
like ready to get a new pair.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of wheels do you skate?
Usually Spitfire Formula 4s.
Really?
Those are, I like those a lot. I've just kind of like stuck with them.
Okay.
They like mostly don't flat spot, and they like slide really well for like power slides or blunts and stuff like that. So
And you like a softer wheel or harder wheel?
I can't, maybe like the 99 durometer or something. So it's like pretty hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then boards. What size board are you into nowadays?
Back to an 8, which is like when we were growing up, 8 was like
So big,
huge,
so
you know?
big. No, like I don't know if anybody skated 8s back in the day.
Yeah. Like a couple people maybe, but
I don't remember. The only time I remember seeing 8s is in the CCS catalog when they had like the
It's like on
mountain
sale.
board, the mountain board setup. Well, it came with
like tires and
yeah, it had straight up tires, and that was 8. And I'm like, dude, anybody skating that? I thought it was the craziest idea.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I for a little while skated like 8 1/4s, but now I'm just back down to 8s because it's like, I don't know, I can flip my board so much easier and
Just like more lighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. And let's see. So I feel like you kind of had some injuries throughout your skating, right?
Yeah, I mean, definitely like, yeah, I broke my ankle like I mentioned, and then God, there was like a 2-year period right when I was starting to get like a little bit better, I broke my left arm and then had a cast for a couple months, and then like less than a year later, I broke it again. I was skating at like the old X Games park or Woodward, whatever it was at the time, like at Colorado Mills.
Yeah.
And tried to like looped out on a front board on the rail or something like that I could do, but just did something super weird. Looped out and like landed like only on my arm before the rest of my body hit, and fully like 45 degree my forearm.
Oh shit.
It was like I said, like a year after I broke the same arm. So
Oh no.
that was
So
a
what's your
bummer.
what's your arm look like now? Like
Oh,
on the
dude,
inside?
it is kind of gross, actually. Like, I have a scar. I don't know if like you can really see it,
You definitely
but
can.
and then I also have this. This is so
Oh
gross.
my
I'm gonna do it.
God.
There's like a weird like bump. Like if I flex my fingers, didn't expect to do that.
That's
Yeah,
that's
I don't really know what's up with it. It's mostly okay, but it doesn't quite have like as much rotation as my other one.
yeah, that arm's straight up fucked up, bro.
Yeah. But I mean, I kind of went pretty much mostly injury free for a long time, and then I started having like just chronic ankle pain, and that's what really like slowed me down a lot. Like,
Was that just from just over time, or was it a catalyst, or?
I think it was just over time, like, and it was my back foot, like the popping foot, you know, and I started getting like really bad pain on the back of my heel, like right where your Achilles attaches, basically. I still don't really know exactly what that was, but I think it was just like overuse of the Achilles, and it was just like constantly inflamed.
Just popping too much.
Yeah. But like that lasted a really long time, and I would have to take like weeks off for it to feel better. And then I started having like on that same ankle, just weird pain in other places that would like keep me like right when I would crouch down to like get ready to pop a trick, it would just like feel really unstable. Like it would be sharp pain, and then it would like kind of pop and feel like unstable. And it was just like, I don't know, super annoying. Like I'd try to skate like the park rail down the set at Broomfield and have that happen like right before I pop, and then just like almost die. And it was like, this sucks, dude. Yeah.
Sucks, dude.
Yeah.
Then what other you had other injuries, or?
I mean, that's pretty much it. I've got like some knee, kind of like chronic knee pain in my left knee, but it's like mostly manageable as long as I don't like skate all day every day for like weeks or something, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's about it. Nothing like super gnarly.
And are you the kind of skater that just skates through the pain, or do you wait till you're feeling 100% before you start skating again?
If I'm in the middle of filming a trick and I start getting pain, like I'll just push through it, you know, and just be like, all right, like let's just get this over with, kind of thing, you know. But generally, yeah, if my knee is hurting or my ankle's hurting really bad and I feel like it's just causing me to skate shitty or not as good or something, then yeah, I'll take a few days off and let it chill out.
Yeah.
But
you're pretty healthy nowadays?
yeah, mostly. I mean, kind of like I said, like the knee thing bothers me every once in a while. Yeah, like generally healthy, you know.
And then you had some kind of other health issues that were like non-skateboarding related that you were kind of dealing with.
Yeah, I developed like super gnarly food allergies in the past like 5 to 10 years, and they've just kind of like gotten worse. Like I used to be able to eat like cheese, you know, dairy, no problem, like breads, everything like that was totally fine. And then I grew up with really bad eczema and asthma, and I finally, like in my late 20s, was like reading something just about like, oh, if you like do an elimination diet kind of thing and things might improve. So I did that, and everything got like way better after a month or so. And I was like, dang, this is sick. And then I started trying to like reintroduce stuff, and then I was like either getting like really sick or just like I'd be like super itchy or just like feel awful. So I basically like cut out dairy and eggs. Eggs are another one. That like bread, cut it out completely for like 6 months to a year. And then I tried a couple times to like reintroduce it. And now I have like a full blown like anaphylactic reaction to that shit.
Bro.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
Yeah. It's super annoying. So I have like an EpiPen and stuff. And I just like, honestly, at this point, I'm so paranoid about accidentally eating something that I don't eat at restaurants or anything, and like pretty much only eat stuff that I've cooked myself. But
yeah, I know. I remember that was kind of a bummer. So we go out skating and we're like, oh, let me go buy you lunch or something. You're like, no. Dude,
I have that happen all the time, and it always feels
bad. It feels bad, man.
Yeah,
but you're like, dude, you just can't risk it, right?
Yeah, that's basically where I'm at. And people are always wanting to like you know, like offer something else. Oh, well, what about this? And I'm just like, I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah, and it's just such an easy thing to do, especially, you know, you're after a session or whatever, you're like, oh, let's go have a beer, and you're like, no.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So I mean that kind of put a damper on things, but
Yeah,
it's cool though.
it did a little bit.
It's cool. You know, health is important as long as you know what you got to do to stay healthy.
For sure, yeah.
No one's gonna like really be too bummed on that.
Yeah.
But did that dietary kind of stuff, was that influenced by what Josh was kind of saying a lot? Because like he was super into that.
Totally. I mean, this was later on. But yeah, dude, Josh was like into some wild like fruitarian diet where literally I think all he ate was fruit
Like
for like
watermelon
months.
Yeah,
dude.
like a whole
like
watermelon.
only fruit.
Right.
I don't even think like seeds or anything like that, or even vegetables.
Right.
Man, I don't know, maybe. But yeah, Josh was always like doing some crazy diets, but he would get really into them and just like spit all this like information at you, and you're just like, whoa, you're right, you know, like I'm poisoning myself all the time. But I mean that was not what I was attempting to do. Right. I had just like read something about like, I think like just a good diet for people that have like inflammation of any kind, but yeah, I think Josh definitely like planted the seed for that, for sure.
Did you ever go to Josh's house during that time when he was super into that?
Yeah, dude. And he would have like, he was getting these like ordering like boxes of fresh fruit. And like, that was the first time I tried persimmons. And like, now I love persimmons.
Oh, they're so good.
They're so good. Yeah. He would have some like just crazy fruit and just, yeah, like literally like crates of fruit.
Did you ever like look in his mom's pantry during those times?
I don't really remember, but definitely like before that, prior to that, whenever we would all go over there and just like watch footage and stuff, like I'm sure you would probably come over too. And like, we would always just like raid the freezer and like eat Hot Pockets and stuff. Like,
dude, at that time, I went over to his house and his mom, he had like cupboard or whatever pantry, there's stuff in there, and then on all of the stuff, like there'd be like baking soda on there, and Josh would write like, this causes cancer, this causes like inflammation of the liver or some shit like that, like on all of his mom's food, bro.
Oh my god, I totally forgot about that, but yeah.
That shit's funny, bro. And then, that's good times, bro.
Yeah, and it's funny because then, like, I mean, he moved to, I think, Alabama or something for a long time. Oh, yeah, that's right.
He was, like, living on a farm.
Yeah, and then he moved back, maybe, like, God, when would this have been? Maybe, like, 2016, something like that. I got him a job at this landscaping company I was working at the time. So we were, like, hanging out again for a little while, and he was, like, I'm trying to remember I think he was really into basically just like paleo stuff at that point, but he was just like, oh yeah, fruitarian diet, like that's so bad for you. You know? But yeah, yeah, he was always into something though.
Yeah, definitely, bro. Super 100% at whatever he was doing.
100%, yeah.
Yeah. And then like, what are some kind of early video parts that you were? Did you collect skate videos, or did you?
Yeah,
do you still have your skate video collection? Or?
I have some of them, but dude, it's such a bummer. I like let somebody borrow pretty much my whole collection, and then they let somebody else borrow it, and then it was just like, I was like, hey, do you still have my videos? And they were like, oh no, this person had them, and then I asked that person, and they were like, no, that person has it, and then it was just like, okay, they're gone.
They're
like,
gone.
But yeah, like, dude, I mean, like, America, This Is Skateboarding was huge. Yeah, right. Around that, all those like early 2000s, like really popular videos.
Sorry.
Sorry was incredible. Pretty much anything from those like few years is still probably like some of my favorite videos.
It's like 2000, 2005.
Era. Something like that. Yeah, Sorry's incredible. Oh, the audio video, One Step Beyond.
Oh yeah, that's such a good video.
That might have been the first video I ever saw that really. And I think I saw it actually before I started skating, and that was like another thing that was like just got me super hyped on skating. But yeah, that was a good video.
Yeah, that video is super good. And let's see here, what else do I got on my notes? Yeah, so you ended up getting like a few sponsors like through the years, right?
Yeah, eventually. Just because, I mean, everybody was so good. Like early skating years, I just like couldn't hang at all with like anybody. And I was like, well, I'll just like, skate around these really good people. And I wasn't really like, I mean, obviously I would have loved to be like sponsored or something, but I was like, yeah, I'm not, tray flipping 12 stairs or anything like that. But yeah, I think maybe like 2012 or something like that, I started skating for Crisis, Jeremy Frankovis's shop at the time. And that was just super dope. I think the shop was open, I want to say it closed in like 2019, something like that. It was about 8 years total, but that was just like some of my favorite times in skating. Like everyone in that shop, just good times. And yeah.
And you still keep in touch with a lot of the team and
a little bit.
Keep in touch with Fuzz and stuff? Yeah,
I talk to Fuzz every now and again, just because he's like super busy and he's like a photographer and he works for, I'm not sure if he's a train conductor now or he was like taking some like gnarly testing to possibly do that, but he's super busy. So I like talk to him every once in a while, but yeah, kind of a busy dude. And then actually, yeah, recently I skated with a couple Crisis people and probably like every couple of years I'll see them or something like that. And it's rad. It's just always good to see him again.
Yeah. What about Drader, bro? Let's talk about Drader for a second, dude, because I remember that and I'd be like, whoa, what is this?
Yeah.
Like, what was all the story about that, man?
Honestly, the dude that made that company is such a rad dude, Ian Spencer, and he's just like an amazing artist now. I haven't seen him in a while, but it was funny at the time, especially because it was like Drader is like, backwards.
Right.
But yeah, it was like, I don't know. I mean, we didn't really do that too long, I don't think. It was myself and Sam Mitchell were on the team and Michael Frith, I think, who was like the first dude to 50-50 Image 20.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I think he was probably like 15 or 16 at the time. Yeah, he was so good.
That's gnarly.
But I can't really remember what happened like with Trader.
Who else was on that? There was more than, I think there was like 5 or 7 of you guys on the team, right?
All I remember is...
I know, yes. I remember Sam like repping hard.
Yeah.
And what was the other dude's name? There was one other like Arvada head
Fuck, I
kid.
Can't remember. Yeah,
I don't remember either. But yeah. So how did you get involved with that? Anyway?
I knew Ian already. Like we would skate together from time to time. And then, actually, I'm not sure. He introduced me to these dudes from Salt Lake City, or just like Utah in general. That I still keep in touch with a couple of them like now. This dude Tim Milanakis, who. Do you know Tim?
Tim, yeah. He was one I was thinking of.
Okay.
I was thinking of.
Oh,
and he like plays music, right?
I'm not sure.
I think he was like in a band. He's kind of like taller, blonde hair dude, right?
No.
I think there was another Tim that I could have swore skated.
I can't remember.
With you guys.
I don't remember.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I don't know if this other Tim or any of the Utah dudes actually skated for Drader, but it was like a rad connection because, yeah, those dudes are awesome. I still... Like Tim Milanakis, the one I was talking about, lives in Oslo, Norway now, and he's been there for like 10 years. I visited him like a few years ago. And
Norway?
Yeah. And we just like skated with his homies there, and it was awesome. Like, it's a good place.
That's sick though, because you've taken some pretty sweet like skate journeys too, right?
I've taken a few, or at least like just like been places and also skated there. But yeah, I did like a few months in Spain and Barcelona in like 2017, maybe something like that.
You were skating like all the time there?
Yeah, I was in Barcelona for a few weeks and that was just like awesome.
It had to be amazing, right?
Yeah, it's dope. I don't know if you've heard, but
no,
cool.
I really don't. I haven't heard anything about Barcelona.
Barcelona, yeah.
So what was like tell me about that. Like what was like, how did you get there? What were you doing there? How are you maintaining?
Basically just like went through a breakup and it was just like, I gotta travel. And then I heard my friend my friend David Pino was like already planning to go out there and do the Camino de Santiago. And so I hit him up and I was just like, dude, let me go with you. Like, that sounds awesome. And so I just like tried to save up as much money as humanly possible in like a couple months. And
what were you doing, saving money at that time?
Just like restaurant. I worked at Whole Foods for a little bit and then I left and I was working at, I think Ace downtown, the restaurant Ace, like ping pong Asian food place. But yeah, so just working there and then, yeah, saved up as much as I could. But yeah, we went to Spain. We did the Camino de Santiago, which was super dope. Just like backpacking for like a month, basically. And then after that, we went to Barcelona and a couple other places. But it was like a 75% not skating trip. But then Barcelona, I like skated hard. For sure.
Did you film anything out there? Did you get any clips out there, or was just
no, not like real clips. You know, I mean, we filmed a few things, but yeah, I wasn't like trying to get real footage or anything when I was there.
So did you go to like all the famous spots, or some of the famous spots, or none of the famous spots, or just cruising, just
kind of cruising? Yeah, I mean, we went to Macba like a handful of times.
What was that like?
It's cool.
Yeah, it's
like the chillest street spot you could ever go to. Like, just because nobody has any issue with anyone skating there, and there's like easily like, 12 to 20 people there at any given time, pretty much. And yeah, it's cool.
Do you see any pros there?
No, I don't think I saw any pros at Macba or anywhere else in Barcelona at that time, but definitely like local rippers stuff.
Have you ever encountered any pros? Obviously,
just like in the streets.
Just like anywhere. Like, were there any kind of moments where you're like, oh, that's that guy?
I mean, the only thing I can think of like that, or just kind of like randomly seeing somebody who was like,
or at skate parks or anything.
Yeah,
like that.
I think maybe when I was like 16 or something, I was at Denver Park by myself. And there was like, I think literally nobody else was there because it was the middle of the day, but Brian Herman was there by himself, just like pushing around and ripping and stuff. So that was pretty cool. It was funny though, because I was like nervous to talk to him, but we were the only two people there. So I'd kind of like skate by and be like, sick, or, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like always awkward, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. That's tight. And then you were living in California for a while?
Yeah. 2018 to like early 2021, something like that. Basically moved out there for work, and then just kind of like ended up skating a lot with William Spencer, Shad's brother, out there, and kind of like linking up with some of his filmer friends and other people, and skated a lot with them. It was fun, dude. It was I lived in El Segundo, and that's like hands down like my favorite place to skate ever, just because there's so many spots. California's pretty tight.
Yeah, what were you doing out there?
Film production, working, which is what I like still mostly do now. But yeah, I kind of like got into it when I was here in Denver, and then went out to visit some friends in LA like the next year, and just decided to like hit up a couple people that I had worked with, and they were like, oh yeah, actually you should come work on like this other show. And so I was like, whoa, okay. And then it just kind of like turned into like 6 months of work, and I was like, well, I might as well just like move here now, So
what was that work like? What were you actually doing?
It was the show Top Chef. So it was like cooking show, and I was working in the like culinary equipment, whatever department. It was the culinary department, but I was like just kind of in charge of all the equipment. So like literally all the blenders and whatever like ovens that all of the chefs needed. That was just our like stock of stuff that we had to manage and like transport to like whenever we were shooting on location. It's pretty hard work.
So
honestly.
Are you like the dude that's like cleaning all the like roasted like burnt out like messes that people fuck up on that show, or just like
I mean, thankfully no, they have like PAs do that, which sucks, dude.
It has
like,
to be terrible.
Yeah, PAs just get treated like shit. But
what's PA?
Production assistant.
Okay.
It's kind of, that's how I started too. It's like, your first foot in the door, basically, just to get on
So you're
set.
just getting all the scrub work and
Yeah.
just getting shit on.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, yeah, we would have to like, after they finished shooting and like all the chefs had like just finished, blending up like all this gnarly stuff, we would have to go retrieve that and then set up like a dishwashing station, and then like other people would wash it and load it back up, and
You're
like,
just kind of
do
like
it all.
you're just kind of managing, make sure everything's where it needs to be. And
Pretty much.
Pretty much set up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's cool. And you really enjoyed that, or are you bumming on it? Or?
It was really hard work. It was like I definitely am done doing culinary stuff now, but it was a good like foot in the door.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was hard work. That show in particular is pretty gnarly. But yeah, now I do like pretty much only art department stuff. So like set dressing, building sets, making props, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you kind of got into that while you were in Cali too, though, right?
Yeah, because at first I was just doing like the cooking show stuff, and then I was like, man, I kind of hate this. I want to try to see if I can get some jobs like doing this kind of stuff, and then liked it a lot and just started getting more work doing that, and basically have done only that for the past like 4 years. Something.
Okay, that's cool.
Or 3, yeah.
So you're getting good at that, or?
I mean, I'm trying. Like, some people are just so amazing at just making the craziest stuff from scratch, and but yeah, I feel like I'm pretty like well-rounded for like art department stuff, so I can like do a bit of woodworking, I can do a bit of like epoxy sculpting. We use that for some things depending on what it is, but yeah, trying to dabble and like learn more stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And so that's making basically your main focus right now?
Pretty much, yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
Trying to like learn other things on the side too, just because like, I don't know, just to have like open options basically in case I ever get burnt out, because film production can be like, it's gnarly hours and it could be pretty exhausting. So
Yeah. And so how often do you have time to skate nowadays?
I mean, at the moment I've kind of like got a pretty decent schedule, so I'm skating maybe like a couple times a week right now, 2 or 3, something like that.
Right on. And you kind of live around here, so where is kind of your go-to spot right now?
I'm in Edgewater, so Edgewater Park from time to time, but I also like, I kind of like skating like the older, like shitty prefab parks,
Which ones are still even left?
Dude,
Golden 2?
Heights.
Golden 2?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I rediscovered that recently. It's like next to the highway,
Right.
next to 6th Avenue.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just like parks like that, so I've been skating there a little bit lately.
Yeah, it was pretty shitty. They tore down Wheat Ridge Park.
I know, dude. Old Wheat Ridge Anderson Park
Anderson.
was like probably my favorite park of all time.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that kind of ties back to early skating. Like that and Arvada Park were kind of all that there used to be for a really long time.
Yeah, and they were all kind of the same, like just different versions of like the same design, But,
Like super bad.
yeah.
Mini ramps were perfect though. The mini ramps were pretty much as good as you could ask for.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Anderson much better than Arvada Park.
For sure,
just
yeah.
for the coping.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
But yeah, those were good times. Those parks definitely were terrible. They shouldn't have tore them down because they replaced them with just the crappiest parks. Like, how do you feel? How do you feel about the new Wheat Ridge Park and the new Old Town Arvada Park?
Oh, well, new Wheat Ridge is okay. I like the hip there. There's a couple things that I like there, but it is like, it's just not a great like flow, It's like easy to get in people's way and you have to wait a lot, and so I don't love that part.
It's like no flat ground.
Yeah, no flat ground, not really a good like flat ledge that I can think of. And I mean, they tore down the old Arvada Park. Isn't it just like a Frisbee golf course now?
Yeah, but they've got that kind of like that transition little bowl.
Oh,
have you even been there?
I have. It's like one like 6 or 7 foot
Quarter
wall,
pipe,
and then like
a little weird bowl.
I can take it or leave it. yeah.
Yeah, they definitely. I feel like that was definitely a downgrade for Arvada Park, and I feel like Wheat Ridge Park was a downgrade from Anderson too.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I agree.
I'll never go to that park.
I know. I do like the new Golden Park. I mean, because that was also, they replaced like an old
Oh
prefab
yeah,
park.
because actually I
Ulysses.
like the original Golden better than the current Golden.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I did like that park too, but I feel like the new Golden is the new Ulysses is pretty legit.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like it's too cramped and
Yeah,
it just kind of just turns into lanes. You know what I mean?
for sure. Yeah.
And then I kind of just got sick of it. But yeah, I miss the old G1. That would have been preferable, honestly.
Yeah. Evergreen Park. I don't know if you've ever been to that
I actually have
one.
never been there, but I've seen it, and it does look really, really fun.
We should go there because it's kind of an updated version of like the old design.
Right.
It's got like the little rail off the box, and yeah, I think it still has a metal mini ramp, and
yeah,
let's go there.
homies go up there. I see. I'm like, dang, I should go up there.
Yeah.
But I've never been. But I
Let's
would
go.
like to, especially with like super hot day. You can get up into the mountains a little bit and
Mm-hmm.
get a little bit cooler action.
Yeah, dude, let's go get
100%
some
down.
fall weather session in.
Yeah, I definitely got to get out before the snow starts coming, dude.
Yeah.
Because I missed the whole season too. I didn't skate it at all, so need to take some time and get out there and skate. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
What's it like skating with Shad and lunch break? How did that all come together?
I talked to Shad I've known Shad for a really long time, and we've been like pretty good friends and just like skating together. And I think he brought it up to me when we were just I think we're skating Evergreen Park, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, I'm thinking about starting a company." And I was like, "Oh, that's awesome! You totally should." And then at some point he was like, "Hey, do you want to be a part of this?" And I was like, "Hell yeah! Like, heck yeah!" For one, like, Shad's just a rad guy, and like, you know, he puts like everything he physically has into whatever he's doing. So I was like, okay, yeah, it's obviously going to be good. But also we have very similar like skate philosophies, kind of, you know, like we both try to like play to our strength, or we know that you need to like play to your strengths basically. And like creativity comes in, you know, like spot selection, trick selection, that kind of thing. And like Shad was always very good at, like, I would want to like film something and he'd be like, or maybe you could like do this way harder version, you know? And I'd be like, no, I can't do that. But then like sometimes it would work out, you know? So he was like,
just had that eye.
Yeah, he had the eye, and he was good at kind of like pushing everybody a little bit, you know, like out of their comfort zone. So yeah. That was good.
I kind of wanted to talk about that too. I feel like that's an important thing that I don't feel like people really talk about is skateboard philosophy, because skateboarding is just a thing. You know what I mean? You can interpret it to be whatever, and you can make something. You really make it yours, and that's what I feel like. All of the great skateboarders, they really just developed a philosophy, and they just completely adhered to it. You know what I mean?
Totally. Yeah.
What's the core, like what's about your skate philosophy?
I mean, kind of just what I was saying, like just really lean into your strengths, you know?
Like, I mean, what do you feel like your strengths are?
God, I don't know. I mean, I tried like flat ground. I try to like incorporate like solid flip tricks into things, or like, you know, any like cool, like weird flip tricks that I've maybe learned at some point. And I mean, I wouldn't say like I'm the most creative skateboarder, but I do try to like at least like skate spots that not too many people have skated, or like try to find like a new spot, or skate something in like a different way than like, you know, I've seen it skated before, which is like, I don't know, maybe just kind of cheating, because you're like, oh, look at, like, I found this other way to do it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, but like other people could do that just as easily.
And they're just like wrecking it like so hard, like the proper way, and you're just
Totally.
like, you're like,
but have you skated this part?
Yeah, right.
Like,
yeah.
But that's still what I kind of, that's generally what I try to do when I'm like filming or something, you know? Like,
just like low impact, kind of
low impact, try to do something cool and like hopefully tasteful and
stylish.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's sick. And then I feel like your part, I want to say, was my favorite part in the lunch break video, and it definitely was very sick. I don't know,
Whoa.
maybe maybe a pretty wild take on that, but I definitely
It's a hot take for sure. I appreciate it
sure.
though.
Yeah.
I mean, I was pretty proud of it. Like, it took a long time, and yeah, I was definitely, like what I was saying with Shad, was like always kind of like trying to, whatever your idea was, he was trying to like push it a little bit further. Like, definitely tried to do that for most things. So I was happy with it, but at the same time, like, there was some crazy parts in that video.
There was definitely some good parts in that video. What was I going to ask you about that? Video? Oh yeah, how did you feel when you were like in Thrasher, bro? Did you ever think that you'd be on Thrasher?
Yeah,
dude?
I mean, that was cool just to have them like post it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't have like any delusions about like the way that I skate at this point in my life. I'm not like, people need to see this, you know. But it was definitely rad. Like, I was stoked that they were like, the interest was there and that they followed through with it. Yeah, it was really cool. It's cool, I guess, to be able to say that, but at the same time, like, I don't know. It's not like I'm like, yeah, I was in Thrasher. You know?
Well, you're not like just you're not just bringing up anything like that when it's like, no, you're like, hey, you're going to grab that little coffee, and you're like,
right,
you should check out my part on this lunch break
on the app,
on the Thrasher app. Yeah. Obviously that's not appropriate, but it's still, I thought that was super sick. I'm like super proud that you guys
it was cool
got on there.
Yeah, I was stoked that it actually like made it up there. I was like, oh wow, that actually happened. So
yeah, that was really dope.
Yeah.
Really hyped when I saw that.
Yeah, and definitely like that wouldn't have happened without Shad and William and Mark Spencer, like just all being good at what they do and having the connections and stuff. And
and just, I mean, Shad and Mark, dude, those guys, they've just always been around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
It's just wild to like think back, 25, 26 years ago, they were the only ones putting content out there to represent like what was happening around here.
Yeah, dude. I think I saw Out of the Blue before I actually started skating also. And it was really cool.
How did you see that?
Just like some like dude, my friend that I went to school with, who I don't even know why he was into skateboarding, because I think maybe he kind of skated, but he was just like watching skate videos and stuff.
That's weird.
But, yeah, I know, right? I know. Just a connoisseur.
Yeah, that's untypical.
For sure.
Unusual, right? Yeah, I mean, that's sick. Like those videos, like Consider the Odds, dude, or even
yeah.
What was the other one? It was Out of the Blue. Consider the Odds was after. There was one other before.
Well, I don't know about before.
It was between Out of the Blue and Consider the Odds. Between it, there was another one that was so sick. That was like my favorite one. I can't think of what it is. I'm so embarrassed that I don't remember what it's called. Well, my mind, my
fix
brain
it in
is
post.
like Consider the Odds, and then there was a black case. It was Out of the Blue, and then Consider the Odds was like the third video. Oh, what was the second one? Maybe I'll think about it. But that one was so good. I think that was the one where it had like Shad like all wasted in it. You remember?
Oh wait, was it Retina?
No.
Okay.
No, that was like the fourth one.
Oh damn. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I can't think.
We'll find it.
Yeah.
Post it.
I'll have to think about it. If I think about it too long, I'm gonna get pissed and I'm gonna get really sidetracked. Anyways, those three videos, those first 4 videos were so good.
Yeah, dude. The Fever,
obviously, Fever was just like, whoa, these guys are like getting way good.
Dude, yeah, that's like still kind of one of my favorite local videos of all time.
One of my favorite too.
Yeah.
I think I caught that video at a demo. Did you ever catch anything at demos?
No way. I think I caught like a Circa shirt maybe at a Circa demo.
I felt like I was really sick at catching merch at demos, dude. I would always
Did you like
catch
reach
stuff.
over people, or
no? I think people just throw stuff like right to me, and it would just.
Damn.
I would like. I know I caught the Fever. And it was. I remember it was
caught the
always.
Fever.
I remember that because it was always funny to say that, right?
Yeah.
So I caught the Fever. I caught the status video. Remember status?
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I caught that video, and then what else did I catch? I think I caught a few other cool things. But yeah, those are definitely sick. Let's see. I think we're kind of getting towards the end of this. I think we did pretty good here on this first episode. Are there any kind of like goals or projects you're working on, or things that you're kind of looking forward to accomplishing? Or
I mean, skateboarding wise, I'm just looking forward to, now that like the weather's a little cooler and just fall is awesome, skating a lot more, and hopefully like getting to like a point where I'm like feeling pretty solid again and maybe start filming. And then I am trying to go take like a little LA trip and go visit friends and like skate and film out there too. But yeah, for skating, yeah, hopefully just like getting my groove back.
Yeah. That's cool, right? You're gonna make some time to get out and skate and stuff?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, at the moment I kind of have a pretty like chill schedule. It does get hard if I'm ever on like a long-term project or something, because then you have zero time for like 2 months or something. But I haven't really been doing many of those, so
yeah.
Right
on, dude. I just remembered it. It was Out of the Blue, Consider the Odds, Retina, and then Who Cares, and then The Fever, right?
Who Cares? Yeah,
Who Cares? I was getting Who Cares and Consider the Odds mixed up.
I'm glad you remembered that. Also, I can't believe I didn't think of that either.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was great, dude. I feel like this was a good little conversation. I'm so grateful that you were willing to come on. This was a lot of fun. Is there any like shout outs or thank yous or anything any last words?
Yeah, dude, just shout out to like all the skate homies, like definitely Fuzz and everyone at Crisis, and Shad and Lunch Break, and Joel Freeman, Kyle Warfield. Love those dudes. They're like some of my favorite people to skate with. So yeah.
Word, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, man, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, dude.
It was a lot of fun,
Thanks,
dude. Yeah. All right, I think that's going to wrap up our first episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Anybody that tuned in. Was there anybody in chat today, Will?
Yeah, Gravity was sympathizing with your allergies.
Dude, that's cool.
Yeah.
We should talk.
Freya said that it was really interesting. Did we want to go over the clips? Or?
Yeah, let's check out these clips real quick.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so what's this? Lip Slide, Hurricane Manny. Where's that at?
Yeah, that's an LA spot. Yeah, these are all right. These three here are like Lunch Break Park clips, but yeah, that spot is incredible. I'm sure you've probably seen people just do ridiculous stuff. I know like Spencer Simeon did switch backside big spin front board to switch Manny on that. Just incredible.
All right.
Pretty sure like Shane O'Neill has done some ridiculous stuff. It's a good spot.
Super fun.
It's like really fun. Yeah.
The ground looks perfect.
Yeah.
It's like glistening.
I know, right?
All right.
Let's check out the next clip, Will.
That was Lunch Break video part. This one too.
Right here.
Oh, this one. Dude, this was like William was filming me, and this was like down the street from my house in El Segundo at like 11 p.m. or something like that, and I was like had work the next morning and was just like trying to I was hoping to be done with it by like 9 p.m. but it ended up taking me like 3 hours because like I had like heel bruises and stuff. But
damn, 3 hours on this clip.
I know. Yeah,
that
I know. It's supposed to look like a casual like alley cruising spot.
You're like, yeah. That's the magic of skateboarding, though, right?
I know, right?
It's all illusion, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
It's all fabricated. Let's check that next clip, Willie.
Yeah, this is another LA clip. Another
That
William filmed this one too. Thanks. Actually, funny story about that one. I did it once, and I did it kind of shitty, and then William accidentally deleted it.
Oh no!
But it was like
it was kind of for the better, right?
Yeah, but I was also like, I think my ankle was hurting really, really bad. And I tried it one more time and just like I had been sitting down for like an hour. I tried it one more time and just did that one like first tee back. And I was like, well, that couldn't have gone any better. So
nice. Yeah, that's sick clip. What else you bring us?
Yeah.
That kickflip is beefed. Where's that at?
That's Colorado Springs. This is Crisis footage from like over the years.
Okay. And that front bluff is like the perfect trick selection for that rail.
It's like the only thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is all like Crisis era stuff from like starting probably in like 2012, 2013. And then
I always like Colorado fall footage. It's just like there's a certain feeling about skating in the fall in Colorado.
I know,
where
it just
you're
feels
like
so good, dude.
We're like, oh, this is nice, but you're also like know that you're on limited time and like you're like, oh, it's gonna start getting cold and it's gonna start being shitty, but it's like pretty nice. And there's fall skating. It's like school starting. You know what I mean? Like you're just going back to school and like there's something super like nostalgic and satisfying about skating in the fall here.
Yeah, dude, it's like definitely
That
the right
kickflip
time of
was
year.
super sick. This backside flip was very dope.
I was pumped on that backside flip, even though that set has been just like completely destroyed with like gnarly stuff, but it felt good.
Yeah, dude, definitely rip, bro. So glad to have you on here. Like, so glad that you're still skating. Like, we need to get out and definitely
Get some Evergreen Park action in.
Definitely work on it, bro.
Yeah.
All right, man. It was fun hanging out with you.
Cool, dude. Yeah.
All right, thanks everybody for showing up. Hope you guys check this out on our YouTube page if you didn't check this out live. Look forward to more episodes. Hopefully we can get some cool people on here. I'm thinking that we'll be able to get some cool people on this podcast. I'm really looking forward to how this develops. We'll see you guys later tonight. 6 or so, we'll be speedrunning Road Rash 64. I'm going to see if I can bust that world record tonight. And tune in for Smash Brothers tomorrow. And check us out. We're all over the place. Come to the arcade. And have a good night.